All right, everybody, buckle up, because today we are diving deep, and I mean deep, into the world of AI storytelling.
Yeah, you heard that right. We're talking about artificial intelligence that can spin yarns and craft narratives in a way you might not believe.
It's pretty wild.
It is wild. So we've got some seriously interesting sources for this deep dive that explore this whole phenomenon. And the big question we're wrestling with today is, can AI really tell a story that truly captivates us, like on a human level?
Right, because we all know that feeling, right?
Yeah.
Getting lost in a good book or totally engrossed in a movie. Can AI really make that happen?
Exactly. And if so, what does that even mean for the future of storytelling?
Huge questions. I'm into it.
Me too. Okay, so our sources are painting a picture of a future where AI isn't just helping writers, it's actually becoming the writer. We're talking about AI crafting complete podcast episodes, beginning, middle, end, characters, plot twists, the whole shebang.
Yeah, and to be clear, we aren't talking about just stringing together some sentences here. This is about AI actually coming up with the ideas, structuring the plot, developing characters.
So, how does that even work? Is it like feeding the AI a bunch of old scripts and books and it just mashes them together?
Well, it's a little more sophisticated than that, thankfully. Basically, it starts with feeding massive amounts of data, think like a ginormous library's worth of stories, into the AI system.
Okay, so the AI is like doing its homework, absorbing all this storytelling knowledge?
Exactly. It analyzes all those stories, figuring out the patterns, the structures, what makes a story tick.
So then what? We just say, okay, AI, now write me a story about a detective who also happens to be a talking cat, and boom, instant podcast episode.
Pretty much. Of course, there's still a human element involved, at least for now. We can give the AI prompts, like themes, character ideas, maybe even a desired emotional arc for the story.
Okay, so it's like a collaboration in a way, but with AI taking the reins on the actual writing.
Exactly. And that's what I find so fascinating, this idea of AI being a creative partner. Like, imagine the possibilities.
Right. I mean, forget writer's block. The AI could just churn out ideas all day long, and you can work together to refine them.
Exactly. And our sources mentioned how these AI-generated stories are often designed with a very specific goal in mind to entertain and uplift.
Interesting. So it's less about, replicating the entire spectrum of human emotion and more about focusing on those positive vibes.
It seems that way, at least for now. Maybe it's because it's tough to program the really nuanced, complex emotions we humans feel.
Right, because I was going to say, I've definitely been moved to tears by a powerful story, that real gut punch of emotion. Can an AI really understand human experience deeply enough to evoke that kind of reaction?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? What makes a story truly resonate with us? Is it the plot, the characters, or is there something more, something intangible that AI might miss?
Ooh, good point. Because I think about some of my favorite stories, and often it's not even the plot itself, but the way the author uses language, the way they describe things.
Yeah.
It creates this whole atmosphere that just pulls you in.
Totally. Like, can AI capture that kind of magic? Or is there something inherently human about it? And, what happens if you don't know a story is AI generated? Would you enjoy it differently if you did know?
Ooh, that's a good question for our listeners to ponder. If you stumbled upon a podcast and it totally sucked you in, would it change your experience if you found out later that, hey, an AI wrote this?
Right. Does it even matter at the end of the day if the emotional impact is there? It's pretty wild to think about.
It really is. And it makes you wonder, what does this mean for the future of art and creativity in general? If AI can generate a compelling story, does that diminish the human element? Or does it open up a whole new world of creative possibilities?
Right. Like, is it a collaboration, a competition? Are we all going to have AI writing partners in the future?
Who knows? But I, for one, am both excited and maybe a little terrified to find out.
Haha, me too.
This has been an awesome deep dive, and honestly, I feel like we've just scratched the surface of this AI storytelling thing.
It's just the tip of the iceberg.
If you're as intrigued by this as we are, be sure to check out the sources we use for this deep dive. They're linked in the show notes. And let us know what you think. Is AI the future of storytelling, or will humans always reign supreme? Until next time.